This is the scene of, the ongoing registration for permanent voters cards here in Lagos State, and people are queuing up, of course, standing to waiting for their turns, with the limited, of course, Inec officers, registration officers on ground. It appears that we are not getting out of this dilemma anytime soon because people are scampering and waiting, hanging around for available Inec officials. And Fortunately, there is time network downtime, and the websites or server could not be accessed. This is very fortunate and pathetic. Where do we go from here? Is very unfortunate that over half of the Nigerian population yet to be registered, and there were no adequate arrangements made by the INEC itself to ensure that it gets to the grassroots, and people are fortunately majority of the persons could not be able to secure the registration, which invariably might not be participating in the forthcoming election. We have several people hanging around here, frustrated, so to say, and fortunately, the INEC people are telling us to go and, of course, reschedule for next visit. But the fact is that they are not coming here again. What INEC should have done is to, of course, mobilize more of the outbox staffs to ensure the adequate registration of everyone who came out. You can see people clustering, just waiting for the network, of course, to resume the registration. But unfortunately, we have to wait for eternity to get connected and eventually register. This is live, of course, reporting here in News Inquest TV, keeping you live and direct as events continue to happen. What could be the fate of these ones, these Nigerians who, of course, have trooped out in their hundreds or thousands per se? Of course, most people have left the scene because of the network downtime, and according to the INEC staffs, they may not register beyond 50, and unfortunately, there are about 16 people registered before the network downtime. Now, who could know possibly whether this could be revived, or would this be the end of today's registration? Well, we are here. Based on the time of reporting, about 16 people have been registered in this, of course, registration units. It is quite pathetic, and it's a pleasure to have you here, sir. What could be your reaction in respect to the ongoing INEC registration, seeing that we have too many people here, but just one INEC registration officer?
Yes, you are very correct. The exercise has been going on at a very slow pace. At a very slow pace in the sense that the INEC officials out for the exercise ought to have been mandated by the INEC to man each and every polling unit in every ward where people vote. In this regards, everybody will be able to register at the same limited time
with remarkable ease.
Yes. So you can, and inclusive of Saturday and Sunday, you discover that everybody will be carried along, and we can ship millions of people already registered within within the shortest period of time. But I can see, to me, Inec is not ready to register a large number of people.
It's not prepared, and based on their preparation, of course, it simply means that they are already failing, and with this franchise, thousands, if not millions, of Nigerians. It's quite unfortunate. The work would be, and now that is about, of course, 4 days count to the deadline. What could you advise people, or perhaps the government? Would there be any possibility of extension? You can watch the people, of course, hanging around because of the network downtime and the poor preparation on the part of the electoral empire.
Yeah, the poor preparation on the part of the electoral empire. This is not the first time. That has always been the case. And our advice, they should do this thing not during electioneering period. It should be a continuous exercise. Just like you are registering for national identification number, you walk into Inec office and register for your polling unit. I mean, for your permanent voters card. Not necessarily mean it's on the election year or election is few months to come. It should be at any time that anybody is ready to vote to get registered.
Every citizen could easily access, of course, the Inec registration centers. It should be a continuous process, as you rightly said. Well, thank you for your time. And now that the network is down, what could be the problem? Is it due to limited megabytes or what? What is actually the problem? If just by registration, mere registration, they are complaining that there is network downtime, then what will happen when, of course, we are in the main elections?
Yeah, what actually happened is that, to me, like I rightly said earlier, the INEC is not ready for this election, this coming election, because if only they are ready, they ought to have made adequate preparation, ahead of the period before now, because you can see if many influx of people wants to register, but it's a pity the wherewithal is not there. INEC, for me, INEC has failed in all ramifications because they have failed to register a reasonable and considerable number of Nigerians for this coming election, which means many people cannot exercise their civic right for this coming election. It's a pity, but I believe they can get better on this. If this happens this time around, they should try as much as possible to avoid it in the nearest future to come.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I think at this time, of course, anyone can sue INEC and seek for redress for defranchising him or her from participating in his civic responsibility. This is reporting live and direct in News Inquest TV. Keep watching as we continue to bring your way exciting moments, of course, as we approach this electionary process.